You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Coming up, the clock is ticking on the FBI's investigation on Brett Kavanaugh. We'll show you what the president said about one of his accusers. Happening today, don't be surprised to get a text message from the federal government this afternoon. We'll explain. And we'll show you the highlights from the last night's first debate between Senator Bill Nelson and Governor Rick Scott. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, early risers. It is Wednesday, October 3rd. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie is off this morning. Let's get the Wednesday forecast now from meteorologist John Scalzi.
Ray, thanks very much. We're looking at a slightly cooler start to the day. Thank you to a little bit of drier air that filtered its way in, making the air feel a little bit more like fall out there. 73 degrees in Bradenton, Sarasota the same. Venice at 75, so is Inglewood. Inland temperatures even cooler. Becky and Omayaka reported in with a 67-degree temperature this morning. We have generally about a 3 or 4 degree drop in our temperature over the last 24 hours compared to where we were at this time yesterday. Al in Northport reports in with 73, so is Cooper in central Sarasota, and Jeff in Laurel Park comes in with 73 degrees as well. No rain for your morning commute. Looks pretty good. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, John. Here are the roads right now. Some buildup there east of the interstate on State Road 64 in both directions. There is some ongoing construction there on a roundabout that's been making news lately at State Road 64 in Greyhawk Landing. Otherwise, not much else in Manatee County. There's the scene in Sarasota County. Northbound 41 as you head between Weber and Bay Vista. Some issues there. In South County, just some minor delays on 41. Nothing major to report as of 6:01. New developments out of Washington now, where investigators are continuing to look into allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. As ABC's Emily Rao tells us, the investigation could end as soon as today.
President Trump spent his Tuesday night in Mississippi getting laughs from the crowd as he openly mocked Christine Blasey Ford, who claims Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her while drunk at a high school party in the early 80s.
How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember. How many years ago was it? I don't know.
While his son, Don Jr., denied the president was mocking Blasey Ford, her attorney sending this scathing tweet, calling President Trump's remarks a vicious, vile, and soulless attack, going on to say he is a profile in cowardice. Blasey Ford's team now saying they've sent letters and emails to the FBI with no response, calling the situation inconceivable, demanding to speak to the agent in charge. Overnight, the New York Times releasing this 1983 letter from Kavanaugh to his prep school friends ahead of a trip to the beach, saying, quote, warn the neighbors that we're loud, obnoxious drunks. Before leaving the White House for Tuesday night's rally, reporters asking President Trump what message he's sending to young men.
Well, I say that it's a very scary time for young men in America when you can be guilty of something that you may not be guilty of. This is a very difficult time.
And his message for women?
Women are doing great.
And as we inch closer to that Friday deadline for the FBI investigation, sources are now telling ABC News it could be done sooner, possibly as early as today. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
The Department of Justice plans to write some big checks in the coming months. More than $70 million in grants will go to hundreds of schools to bolster safety and security. The department also announced more than $64 million to improve state criminal record systems, which would help increase the effectiveness of background checks. Looking ahead to the weekend, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is heading to North Korea with plans to meet with Kim Jong-un on Sunday. He's expected to lay the groundwork for a second summit for President Trump. It's not clear whether North Korea has made any substantial changes on its nuclear weapon systems. Pompeo will also travel to Japan, South Korea, and China on his swing through Asia. Happening today, if you have a cell phone, you'll be getting some alerts today from the federal government. Everybody around the country will get an alert at the same time when FEMA conducts a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. It'll happen at 2:18 p.m., so don't be shocked when you see the words Presidential Alert on your screen. FEMA says the test will allow them to determine if improvements are needed. For the latest on this story and breaking news and the forecast, check out our app. It's under WWSB or under My Suncoast. On to state politics now. Election day is now less than 5 weeks away, and the Democratic candidate for governor campaigned in Sarasota yesterday. Andrew Gillum was on Siesta Key talking about red tide. What else, right? The Tallahassee mayor says he doesn't think Republicans in Tallahassee have done enough to reduce the toxic algae bloom.
Forget about the red associated with the Republican Party or the blue associated with the state of Florida's oceans and the state of Florida's Democratic Party. I want you to consider these colors. While my opponent would love you to be focused on the color of my skin, I want you to be focused on the blue-green algae flowing out of the east and the west side of the state of Guatemala.
Gillum is running against former Congressman Ron DeSantis of Jacksonville. Developing overnight now, Senator Bill Nelson and Governor Rick Scott faced off in their first debate in the battle for Nelson's longtime Senate seat. As ABC's Michael Putney shows us, age and honesty were two ongoing issues.
He's been there for 42 years. Nothing's happened.
Rick Scott called Bill Nelson a career politician with nothing to show for it.
Whatever he says is simply not true.
Nelson called Scott untruthful. It was a verbal Donnybrook from start to finish.
We have got to make sure we take care of people with pre-existing condition. We have to make sure that anybody can get health care insurance.
I just heard the governor say that he favors the insurance for pre-existing conditions. It's exactly the opposite of what he has allowed the state of Florida to file suit to declare unconstitutional pre-existing conditions protection that is in the law.
Scott repeatedly called Nelson confused, code for being old, and Nelson repeatedly questioned Scott's truthfulness, code for lying.
Almost everything that my opponent has said has been false.
As proof, Nelson cited several rulings by PolitiFact Florida, a respected fact-checking website.
That is an arm of the Tampa Bay Times. They're not exactly perceived to be a nonpartisan group, and I would look at it as part of the Democrat Party.
The debate ended with a very brief and very unfriendly handshake between the two, an accurate reflection of the nasty and unusually testy hour that preceded it.
Senator Nelson is a partisan politician that all he does is attack Republicans and defend Democrats.
You know, Governor, you just can't tell the truth.
And that is reporter Michael Putney. Their next debate is scheduled for October 16th on CNN. Meantime, Sarasota County elections officials are sending out the vote-by-mail ballots for next month's election. Nearly 64,000 ballots are being mailed to registered voters, and more than 1,500 ballots have been sent previously to registered military and overseas civilian voters. To request a vote-by-mail ballot, submit an online request at sarasotavotes.com no later than October the 31st. Look at this now. Witnesses to a hit and run in Miami made sure the driver didn't get away from the scene. Surveillance video caught it all on Sunday night. Eric Hunter was walking with his wife and daughter after dinner when a car veered off the road, hit him, and kept on going. Two Good Samaritans followed the car and held the driver until police arrived and made an arrest.
I identified the car immediately. You know, I'd seen the license plate, had it in my head.
So I pulled up my car, we boxed him in, and the guy with the skateboard comes up like a G and just busts out the window with the skateboard.
All focus now is on that victim, Hunter, who remains in critical condition this morning in Miami. Happening today in Sarasota, police will host Coffee with a Cop. Pastry art on Main Street east of Lemon, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Officers will be on hand to answer any questions or discuss any issues you might have about law enforcement in the city of Sarasota. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, is Toys R Us making a comeback? We'll tell you why it looks like the company might not be going through with bankruptcy protection after all. And next half hour, we'll tell you about a Suncoast group showing their support for more research into the ongoing issue of red tide. We'll preview a live protest this morning. But first, here's a look outside our studios. It is 6:08 on Wednesday morning. Let's get the forecast now for the beach from John Scalzi.
Yeah, you see how crisp that image is. That's because of a little bit of drier air that's in the atmosphere. Should make for a pretty nice day at the beach, actually. We'll have a general easterly wind flow again today, 87 degrees. West, maybe near the coastline in the afternoon, but we'll look for a UV index that'll certainly be on the high side at about a 10. By the way, red tide reports from Moat Marine, the latest one, shows Lido, Siesta, and Nokomis all showing no red tide irritant in the air whatsoever. Good news there. We'll have the complete forecast coming up in just a second.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we talked yesterday about how we'd have a better rain chance yesterday, but then some drier air would be moving in, and it has arrived. And it feels so nice, I think. 72, our dew point value now, which, you know, is not dew points in the 60s or certainly 50s, but it's a lot better than dew points of 76 or 77, so that's kind of nice. A northeast wind coming in at about 6, air temperature 73. 73 is a popular number, by the way. Al in Northport, our weather watcher there, says 73. Cooper, Central Sarasota, has 73. Jeff in Laurel Park, another one of our weather watchers, 73. So it's a popular number on the boards this morning. We'll go with about warm temperature of 92 for a daytime high, 91 I'd say by around 3 p.m. And we do have a chance at seeing a shower around today, but it's a small chance, and the showers will be pretty fast moving, going right out into Gulf waters. Not much of a sea breeze developing today, so I don't expect to see much in the way of a thunderstorm chance. Outside chance, maybe 1 or 2 thunderstorms build, but that's not a big chance. Mostly out in Gulf waters, we have a better chance of seeing some of the storms build a little bit stronger. We have the east wind really all the way across the peninsula today, and that's why I think some of these showers will actually make their way across. But the difference between today and yesterday is that without that supporting moisture in the atmosphere, I think a lot of these showers are just going to dissipate out after they move from Atlantic waters to land. Once over land, they're going to kind of be robbed of their moisture supply and dissipate away. If you look at the rainfall futurecast, most of the heavier rain falling in inland areas and closer to the other coast before they try to make that trip across a relatively dry Florida today. The biggest rain chance will be in inland areas, Wauchula, Arcadia, Ona, up and probably seeing about a 40% chance of rainfall. Closer to our coastline, I think we're looking at 20% or less chance of a shower today. The futurecast kind of shows the timing of the storms that we've been talking about all morning here. We'd see probably up until around lunchtime pretty quiet conditions. By 1, 2, 3 o'clock, a few of those showers try to make their way in. A lot of them die out in inland areas. But by drive time, a few of them make their way closer to the coastline. They go out into Gulf waters. They dissipate away. And we're left with a pretty quiet, starry overnight. That's the way it's going to work today. It'd probably be similar to that tomorrow, but we may get a little bit more moisture tomorrow. In the tropics, we'll take a look at what's close by, and what's close by is this area of disturbed weather in the Caribbean. This area, probably not an issue for us through the weekend, but next week we'll have to keep a pretty close eye on this, as there's a 30% chance of development over 5 days. It's not a great chance, but generally if you have something developing in this part of the country, this part of the world, it's going to probably try to lift north or at least northwestward with time. So we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, nothing to worry about, but certainly over the weekend, keep updates on it. We have a northeast wind coming in at 5 to 10 today, switching a little bit more to the east during the overnight at about 15. 20% chance of showers today. A little bit better chance tomorrow as we get more moisture in. That moisture goes away on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday particularly as we head into the weekend. Kind of a dry weekend, sunny and warm. And then next work week, well, we'll be watching the tropics and we'll up the rain chance just a little bit. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Here's the scene in Manatee County. State Road 64, some buildup there as you cross over the Braden River and head toward the interstate. Also State Road 70, eastbound as well as you approach I-75. Farther south, the only red I see, strangely, is way out there on the Lido Key as you head towards St. Armand Circle. Not sure why there's so much traffic there right now. And then farther south, a couple blips there, 41 northbound through Murdoch and Charlotte County. And I thought I saw one a little farther north, but right now, no problems at 617 on your Wednesday morning. Consumer news now. Amazon taking a big step to help their employees. The online retail giant is raising their minimum wage to $15 an hour, and that includes part-time and seasonal workers. That'll affect 350,000 employees. Right now, the federal minimum wage stands at $7.25 an hour, but Amazon plans to lobby Congress to raise that as well. The U.S. Postal Service is hiring throughout Florida, and that includes here on the Suncoast. The post office looking for rural carriers, which includes a salary of almost $18 an hour. To apply, you must have a driver's license, a safe driving record, and 2 years of documented driving experience. Applications are open until Sunday. And hold the play phone on the death of Toys R Us. A planned bankruptcy auction for the once giant retailer is now postponed. It's canceled. Toys R Us announced it was effectively ceasing operations last March and then June closed the last of its stores, but could possibly make a comeback by sometime next year. Strange twist there. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you why police put some schools on lockdown in Tennessee yesterday while they search for a suspected killer. And next half hour, a closer look at what the University of South Florida is doing to consolidate its 3 campuses. But first, at 6:18, this is a look at an ongoing protest right now in Boston. It appears the shop might have locked up, but some workers at a Marriott are protesting wages there. We'll check back on that shot as it unfreezes. There's a shot outside our studios at the Rosemary District. Should see a high of 92 degrees today, just a chance of rain, 20%. We'll have more news coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com. Gatto's got it.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Welcome back. It is Wednesday morning, 6:22. Love that shot of the Capitol Rotunda in Washington. They're seeing 69 degrees there right now and a high of 81. All eyes on the midterm election in less than 5 weeks. Also the ongoing investigation into the Supreme Court nominee, which could wrap up today, and also that curious ricin chemical that appeared at the Pentagon across the river in Virginia. That story and more news coming up on Good Morning America. An urgent manhunt is underway in Tennessee this morning for a suspected killer. ABC's Steve Osunsami explains why some schools were placed on lockdown yesterday.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the massive manhunt in Tennessee for an accused killer.
Where you coming from? Where you headed to?
Police are setting up roadblocks, and parents in a 2-mile area are having to drive their kids to school because no school buses are running while police search. Authorities in 2 counties northwest of Nashville say they're in a race to find 53-year-old Kirby Wallace. On September 23rd, police say he killed a 63-year-old woman, wounded her husband, and then set their home on fire. Last Thursday, after a woman left this area church, police say he came at her with a knife and stole her vehicle. And then on Monday, police say he killed again, shooting a man dead in his driveway and then racing from police in this stolen pickup truck that he crashed into trees a few miles away. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the latest on the search. With your GMA First Look, I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Managing my type 2 diabetes wasn't my top priority until I held her. I found my Traceba reason. Now I'm doing more to lower my A1C. Once daily Traceba controls blood sugar for 24 hours for powerful A1C reduction.
Traceba is a long-acting insulin used to control high blood sugar in adults with diabetes. Don't use Traceba to treat diabetic ketoacidosis during episodes of low blood sugar or if you are allergic to any of its ingredients. Don't share needles or insulin pens. Don't reuse needles. The most common side effect is low blood sugar, which may cause dizziness, sweating, confusion, and headache. Check your blood sugar. Low blood sugar can be serious and may be life-threatening. Injection site reactions may occur. Tell your prescriber about all medicines you take and all your medical conditions. Taking TZDs with insulins like Tresiba may cause serious side effects like heart failure. Your insulin dose shouldn't be changed without asking your prescriber. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing, fast heartbeat, extreme drowsiness, swelling of your face, tongue, or throat, dizziness, or confusion.
I found my Tresiba reason. Find yours.
Ask your healthcare provider about Tresiba.
Hi, I'm Alan. This is Bob from Publix Aprons Cooking School. Bobby, what you got for us today, buddy?
We're going to do a baked citrus fish with fennel and beans.
Sounds good to me.
We'll bake it all in one casserole dish. Where you have any kind of white fish you want. I think you got some orange roughy here.
Sure.
That's what we have here. And what we're going to put on this, we took some mayonnaise and it called for crushed red pepper. But you know me by now because we wanted something hot, so I took mayonnaise and sriracha. That's what we're going to use here. So we have a little bit, you do whatever you want at home, it's fine with me. But then we're going to take a little bit of this on here. You make it as spicy as you want, you don't have to worry about it. And we're just going to kind of slide that into this baking dish. Now over here, we are going to take, we have fennel. Beautiful fennel, everybody. Slice it up fine. You could do it thin. I did it by hand because I felt like it. We're going to take some fennel, put this in here, some cannellini beans, some green beans.
Those haricot verts?
Actually, they are because you bought them. Nice French green beans. Some fresh garlic, a little bit of good olive oil, a little salt and pepper. Just like so. This is just exciting, isn't it? I don't know what to say. And then we're going to take a little orange zest. And then you take the orange segments. So then what you do is you take all this, you mix it all together, and then you put the secret ingredient in. Roasted garlic grill mates herb stuff. That's what it's called, herb stuff. That's what I'm calling it. So we're going to put a little bit of this in here, and then you take your fish, and we're just going to kind of like just lay this around the fish. Just like so, you go all the way around it, and then you top it with the oranges. Now, the almonds put on later on, because if you put them on now and bake it, what's going to happen, Alan?
They're going to burn.
They're going to burn. Beautiful.
Looking good, Bobby. Great job. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Aprons Simple Meals kiosk, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this wonderful dish. Looking good, Bobby.
Thanks, Alan.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Coming up with red tide now impacting both Florida coasts, we'll tell you what some groups are doing today to protest the situation in Englewood. Plus, we'll tell you how the Secret Service interrupted a suspicious envelope sent to the president before it made it to his desk, and what the University of South Florida is doing to consolidate its 3 campuses. Those stories plus your forecast coming up on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, October the 3rd. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. Stephanie Webb is off today. Let's get the midweek forecast from the expert meteorologist John Sculsey.
Looks pretty nice for us this morning, Ray. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall anticipated for this morning. Maybe this afternoon, an isolated shower. But it's the temperatures that I particularly enjoy. We're looking at temperatures that are cooler than yesterday. 72 in Bradenton, 73 Sarasota, 71s in Arcadia. That represents a 3 or 4 degree drop over the last 24 hours in our morning temps. And it feels nice and crisp out there, relatively speaking, because of the lower dew point values. No rain until the afternoon. We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Some buildup on State Road 70 in both directions between 301 and the interstate. Otherwise, not too bad so far in Manatee County. Farther south, here's the scene there. Some early buildup there on St. Armand's Circle, of all places. Also, Bee Ridge Road, westbound between the interstate and Honore. And then our final map of the south indicates no real issues except way down there by Port Charlotte in the southbound lane in 41. Some protesters are rallying this morning in the southern tip of Sarasota County on the issue of red tide. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now live from Englewood with a preview of their protest. Marla, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ray. Although the latest red tide report seems to show the issue decreasing, some Sarasota County residents are still looking to protest and get their point across right here at this Walmart on South McCall Road in Englewood. Now, this is video of some of the protesters who will be out at this Walmart later today. Back in September, many of them met in Venice to protest Governor Rick Scott. They say that he's to blame for this year's conditions because he failed to put regulations on pollution. Now today, protesters will be trying to get their point across to drivers passing by. This is something Englewood Indivisible has been doing for some time now since the red tide outbreak. Now every first and third Wednesday, that group meets right here at this corner to get their point across. They say they'll be doing so until they get the answers and the results that they want. Reporting live in Englewood, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. We're hearing now that there is one type of marine life that may be thriving during red tide. Well, some scientists say that stone crabs are hurt by red tide. Suncoast charter captains say they have not seen a decrease in stone crabs this year, although they have seen a drop in most other marine species.
The babies I've been seeing have been by rocks, or they've been inside shells or buried up.
Some local seafood restaurants have noticed a surprising correlation between red tide and stone crab season. Years with bad red tide results in booming stone crab seasons, they say. You can catch all of our red tide coverage, including your most frequently asked questions, online at mysuncoast.com and then click on red tide. A local citizens group plans to sue the federal government over the Lido Beach Renourishment Project. Save Our Siesta Sand is concerned about the effects of dredging the pass between Lido Key and Siesta Key. A massive amount of sand has eroded from Lido and wound up between the two keys. The city of Sarasota and the federal government wants to get it back on Lido Key Beach, but Save Our Siesta doesn't want that pass touched. They think it could change the currents and ultimately change the sand on Siesta Key. New details now out of the nation's capital, where the Secret Service intercepted a suspicious envelope. ABC's Martha Raditz has the story.
The Secret Service intercepted a suspicious envelope on Monday addressed to the president. The envelope was intercepted before reaching the White House. 2 other envelopes sent to Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis, the other to a member of the Joint Chiefs. The head of the Navy, Admiral John Richardson, field tested positive for ricin. This is the Pentagon mail facility where thousands of packages and letters are screened every day by technicians in hazmat suits. They are now quarantining all mail received yesterday.
If these 2 gentlemen opened these envelopes and they got enough of it in their system, it could have harmed them.
Ricin is found naturally in castor beans and in its purest form can be deadly. In 2013, letters addressed to President Obama and other officials did contain ricin. A Mississippi man was arrested and is currently serving a 25-year jail term.
And that's reporter Martha Raditz. The envelopes will be used as evidence, but also to see if the 3 letters are indeed somehow linked. The Department of Homeland Security was not fully prepared for President Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy earlier this year. A report by the department's Inspector General's office says that border officials detained more than 850 minors longer than they were legally allowed to. The Inspector General also said that DHS gave the detainees, quote, inconsistent information. Back here on the Suncoast, change is on the way for the 3 campuses on the University of South Florida. The USF system is consolidating their independent academic accreditations under one umbrella. So last night, students, faculty, staff, and concerned residents met about that last night at USF. Back in March, Governor Rick Scott signed an education bill that consolidates USF's St. Petersburg, Sarasota Manatee, and Maine Tampa campus. There are some who believe this is a positive move, especially when it comes to programs and resources, while others have concerns about job security.
The benefits of a consolidation, which what was pointed out by most of the people in the room, is opportunities for new courses and new opportunities and new resources for each campus.
I think we could have gotten along without it happening, but it has happened, and so we're going to work with it and create the best thing that we can with it. And I think there are opportunities to make it better.
The USF Consolidation Task Force says the deadline to present their plan to the Board of Trustees is this February. State College of Florida will no longer be allowing, or I should say offering, dual enrollment classes to students on area high school campuses. Instead, Sarasota and Manatee County students can get dual enrollment credits online or by going to an SCF campus. In a letter, the superintendents of both counties say they are disappointed by the announcement. Dual enrollment allows students to earn college credits while also still taking high school classes. A new hotel is opening soon on the campus of IMG in Bradenton. Workers are just finishing this hotel, 150 rooms, 5-story Legacy Hotel in Bradenton. It features king, deluxe, and standard double rooms, 5,100 square feet of meeting space, 4,800 square feet of ballroom, and an American cuisine restaurant as well. The facility will not only host IMG students and guests, but also the public as well.
We understand that a lot of people don't have the access to IMG Academy. We look at this as an opportunity for those people to kind of get a taste of everything that is IMG Academy. And we're going to do it from a hospitality perspective.
The $13 million hotel is scheduled to open next week on the 11th, but it's already taking reservations. All this just in time for next week's Parents' Weekend. Booker High School is receiving a large donation to support scholarships and the school's Law Academy. Former Assistant State Attorney and Sarasota native Damone Lee is back home on the Suncoast to give back to his community. He gave $10,000, $5,000 will go toward scholarships, and the rest toward the school's Law Academy.
To see that kids now have somewhat of an idea of what they're going to get into when they make that decision to invest so much time and resources and make such sacrifice in order to achieve that goal of becoming a lawyer, I just felt compelled to give as much as I could.
The Law Academy helps students prepare for careers in law and criminal justice fields. Lee attended Booker Middle School and then Sarasota High School. The Sarasota Crew Masters are celebrating a successful showing at the recent World Rowing Masters Regatta, which was held in Sarasota County. 20 Sarasota Crew Masters rowed in the event at Nathan Benderson Park. They brought home 3 gold medals, 1 silver and 1 bronze. Several rowers also competed with other teams and won 3 additional gold medals. The World Rowing Masters Regatta marked the end of the team season. They'll start their 2018-2019 season next month in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Meantime, Sarasota Crew alumni Clark Dean has been selected as the U.S. Rowing Under-19 Male Athlete of the Year. The Sarasota native was selected by athletes and coaches that competed in the 2018 World Rowing Junior Championship. Last year, Dean became the first U.S. junior men's single sculler to win the event in 50 years. He also just began his freshman year rowing at Harvard University. He'll be honored in November at the Golden Oars Gala in New York City. Wow, impressive guy. Happening today, the city of Northport will replace the docks at Dallas White Park. Construction is scheduled to be complete by November 9th. The boat ramp and dock area will be closed to the public during that time, but the kayak launch will remain open. Look at this. The Bradenton Marauders are marking their 10th season on the Suncoast with a new logo. It's designed by the Pirates and the Marauders. It features Marty the Marauder mascot at the bottom tip of a black diamond with yellow accents. In the middle of the diamond is a large yellow number 10. Merchandise with the new logo will be available starting next season. Celebrations will also take place throughout the season. They begin their next season in April, rather. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Want to get a healthier start to your day? We'll tell you why some doctors say a glass of lemon water could be key. And the latest from Hollywood, including actress Julia Roberts and her own TV show. But first, at 6:41, here's a peek outside our studios. Looks like a pleasant day in progress. Let's find out for sure, though, from forecaster, meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty nice for us today, Ray. A little bit lower dew point, making it feel kind of cool and crisp out there, relatively speaking. None of the boxes checked on the inclement weather for our drive time forecast because don't really see any. Maybe a few scattered showers later today, but they'll be fast moving, so total rainfall amount's not that great. If you're traveling today, all airport hubs serving Sarasota Bradenton running on time according to the FAA. Your forecast in a minute.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Rugs as Art. You know the name. You know the building. But do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
The Players Center presents the wild Broadway season opener, Annie, Get Your Gun. There's no business like show business. This slice of magical American musical theater will thrill you with the classic tunes of Irving Berlin. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Annie, Get Your Gun, September 18th through October 7th. Let's go on with the show.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion. Learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Okay, this is what I really like, the dew point value with today's temperature of 73. It's a 72, which makes it feel a lot cooler and crisper than it was when the dew points were 75, 76, 77. So not quite dew points in the 60s yet, but heading in the right direction. Of course, that'll change tomorrow. We'll get more moisture in here, and that dew point value will return to probably 75 or so by this time tomorrow. But for this morning anyway, kind of a cool, crisp feel to the air. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch about a 20% chance of showers begin to build, with showers coming from the other coast, riding on an easterly wind flow, moving through the area, and then decreasing in coverage and intensity as we head into the night. Not that any of them are going to be particularly intense storms. Do you see a few of those scattered showers over on the other coast gradually drifting in this direction? Difference between today and yesterday, when we had actually a little bit better coverage yesterday, is that the air is slightly drier, so that a lot of these storms are going to kind of fall apart as they try to move across a relatively dry Florida. A few of them will make it through, and consequently we put in that 20% chance of a shower along our coastline. Inland, the chance might be a little bit better, 30, 40%, something like that, especially as we move into Highlands County. But total rainfall amounts either way are just not going to be all that great. Want to talk about the tropics real quickly. Of course, we have Leslie out here, no problem for the state of Florida. But down to the south, we do have a cluster of clouds. And computer models suggest we may see some development here. It's given about a 30% chance over a 5-day period of developing. No chance at all over the next several days because the upper level winds are too strong. But as those upper level winds start to die down, we start to get a better chance at seeing some development there. Leslie, as I mentioned, is just going to kind of meander out here for a while before heading toward the east and basically just falling apart probably by the beginning of next week. So this mass of clouds will probably see some development occurring right in here with time. And as it does so, it's pretty typical at this time of year for this to lift north or northwest or northeast. That may or may not happen, but one thing I can tell you is for sure is that at this time of year, we have a secondary spike in the number of hurricanes and tropical storms that we see in October. Of course, the peak occurred in September, but still in October, we have a secondary spike, and consequently, I'm just reinforcing the fact that hurricane season is not over yet. We have a northeast wind building at about 5 to 10, becoming northeast at about 10 later this evening, and the forecast for the week ahead looks pretty good. We'll see a daytime high that tops out around 92 today with a 20% rain chance. Tomorrow, probably a little bit better rain chances. We get another little ribbon of moisture working its way in, increasing our rain chance to about 40%. Then the ribbon of moisture goes away, dry air comes back, and we're left with a fairly dry weekend, I think. Then next week, we are going to be keeping a close eye on the tropics and what, if anything, develops down to the south in the Caribbean. Right?
All right, thank you, John. Checking First Alert traffic now. Here's the scene. First off, in Manatee County, some buildup on 301 southbound as you cross over State Road 70. Otherwise, not too bad so far today with the morning commute. Farther south, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. 301 southbound as you get past University and head toward Fruitville. Some issues there. Still a slowdown out there to the left side of your screen on St. Armand Circle for some reason. If you happen to know, let us know. And then farther south, a little buildup there on the 681 connector from 75 toward 41, also 41 southbound between Osprey and Nokomis, and some minor delays in Charlotte County as well. In Health Smart now, if you want a new healthy start to your day, get this, doctors say consider a glass of lemon water. Turns out the acid in lemon water helps break down food. Lemon also contains substances that protect your body from disease as well. So if you squeeze just half a lemon into your water, you'll get more than a sixth of your daily vitamin C, but too much acid can also be bad for your teeth as well. Entertainment news, be careful before searching for actress Ruby Rose online. And Julia Roberts getting her own TV show, the latest from Hollywood, and reporter Jason Nathanson.
When searching celebrities online, some names are more dangerous than others, and apparently actress Ruby Rose is the most dangerous of all. Security software company McAfee is out with its list of celebrity names that might nab you a virus while searching, and the Australian Orange is the New Black star, who will also play Batwoman in an upcoming TV series, is the #1 threat. Reality star Kristen Cavallari is second, followed by Oscar-winning actress Marion Cotillard. Julia Roberts, who's about to launch her first TV show. The Oscar-winning actress has only dabbled in movies until now, and at an event for her upcoming Amazon series Homecoming, she made it clear she's no snob.
I feel bad, like people think I don't like TV. TV raised me. I love TV. I just haven't been offered anything that I thought I was the right fit for, the right person for, and I've never met Sam before, so I think he was my lucky penny.
Sam is Sam Esmail, the creator of the critically acclaimed series Mr. Robot and the guy behind Homecoming. The psychological thriller hits Amazon November 2nd.
Are you ready for it?
Taylor Swift is coming back to TV, her first TV award show performance in almost 3 years.
I'm going to be opening up the American Music Awards with a performance.
Next Tuesday on ABC. And happy birthday today to Gwen Stefani. The No Doubt singer turns 49. And Thor actress Tessa Thompson turns 35. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Up next, the top 7 headlines before 7 a.m. But first, here's a peek outside our studios, high above in our tower camera. You see the sunrise. It's just starting out there on the horizon. We'll have one last peek at the forecast, and again, our top 7 headlines before we leave the door at 7 a.m. Stay with us.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
Find out first at 4 with ABC7 News at 4. First alert weather, breaking news, live updates, traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC7.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
iPad users later on this month. Are you an emoji user?
I can't tell you the number of times I've wanted a llama emoji.
Exactly.
So now I've got one.
I can't tell you how poorly I see these days. I can't see people go through elaborate things to send emojis. Like,
yes,
what is that?
I know.
I don't know.
It's true.
Right?
Like little teeny tiny things. I know. But you know what? They're kind of interesting because they were invented by a scientist, really.
Really.
And the first one was just a little smiley face. So they're still using it today. So
that's what I stick with.
Yeah.
Colon and the parentheses.
Exactly.
All right.
Me too.
Have a great Wednesday, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Good Morning America is straight ahead.